Hey, welcome back to another episode of Real Men Unscripted.
I'm Domingo.
And I'm Derek. D&D.
Yep, welcome back.
And my dog, hopefully she won't bark, but she's sitting kind of right here today since no one's home. She's like, let me see what Daddy's doing.
She's a doodle. She needs attention.
A doodle?
Isn't it a doodle?
She's...
I thought it was Pomeranian poodle or something.
Now I can't remember now.
I thought she was some sort of poodle mixed with something else. She looks like it.
Why am I drawing a blank?
I don't know.
I think because I was everything you were giving me before we. So just so you guys know, when it's unscripted, it really is unscripted. I mean, we might briefly before we get on say, "Hey, what do you want to talk about?" Like it's not like we talk all week and say, "Well, let's talk about this." Like talk about this. We do want to try to stay with current affairs that's going on.
Current events.
Yeah,
Current affairs. I'm not into that.
With his current wife. You're not into current affairs.
I knew you were going to bring that up.
I'm never going to let that one go. But
thank God my wife hasn't watched it yet.
So current affairs. No,
events.
Current events.
Oh, my goodness.
God. So we only...
Not unfair. Tammy!
So we're trying to, just do, since we only drop them every other week, we try to do just one episode so we're not too far out and then something really happens. So, but there was the Super Bowl yesterday.
The most boring, dumbest Super Bowl I've ever seen.
Well, if you're an Eagles fan, you loved it because they dominated.
I'm a Cowboys fan, so.
So you were really hating it.
Yes, both sides.
But you got to admit, they did dominate.
Yes, they did.
So for them, they were happy. Tammy was, for some reason, rooting for the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly.
What?
Yeah.
Is she not a Swiftie?
No, she's not a Swiftie.
There you go. That's why.
But, I mean, she does like that the Hunts, the owners, are Jesus followers. They have a place at the stadium that they do worship and have church. I think she's just, they've won the last two. I think she just was like, hey, how about someone else? I'm all about, I'm AFC. Steelers are in the AFC, so I go for AFC. I really wanted, the Lions and Bills, but I was, when I rewatched last week's, I did get the picks right of who was going to be in the championship game. You were way off, but I was exactly right. But yeah. So anyhow, it was a kind of a boring game because they were beating up on them really bad. I thought Barkley would have a better game, but their defense was just, I don't know what happened, but Mahomes couldn't do nothing. Like, it was crazy.
Oh, but that's been the formula, though. The last time Mahomes lost, what did they do? They kept him in the pocket, and they pressured him. If you do those two things, you're going to beat Mahomes. If he gets out of the pocket, you're not stopping Mahomes.
Well,
and the Eagles understood that.
At one point, I looked at his stats, and I think he was like 2 for 4 with 2 interceptions.
Yeah, that was the first half.
What?
First half. Second half numbers were good.
Yeah. But they started playing their second string. But it was pretty cool. The one guy,
DeJean Carter,
white guy, there has not been a white cornerback in since what was his name? Seymour.
John Lynch.
No, he's a safety. Seymour from the Giants,
Oh yeah, Jason Seymour.
Yeah. And so
Why
anyhow,
you make it about race?
Because everybody makes it about race.
Not me.
When he got drafted,
here's the thing.
That was the first thing they said.
If you can,
he's going to be the first white guy in 30 years.
Because you guys fall into the media.
Well, we're media. We're media right now.
I'm a football coach, right? I could care less what color you are.
I totally agree.
You play corner, and I'm gonna show you some drills, and whoever looks the best are my two corners.
Okay.
Whoever can catch the ball the best are my two receivers. Whoever can throw the ball the best is my quarterback. I don't care if you're purple. I don't care if you're a dog. If you can throw the ball better than a human, you're my quarterback. And they made a movie about that too for basketball, Air Bud or whatever. Yeah. So it doesn't matter. Everything is about race.
I know.
white cornerback. I'm like,
I'm just
he's
only
not
saying
white.
what the
He's a
media. I'm just
cornerback.
saying what the media was saying. That's all.
Well, to be honest, transparency. When I heard the name, I thought he was black. DeJean Carter
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something.
No, his last name is Deshaun.
DeJean. So what's his first name? Scott DeJean or something like that? I don't know what it is. But I heard DeJean, and I automatically assumed wrongly that he was black.
But it was cool.
So that was my mistake.
He had an
birthday.
interception on his birthday. So it was him and Barkley's birthday.
Oh, it was Barkley's too?
Yeah. So Barkley was hoping to get like a touchdown. But he got that pick 6 for a touchdown, which was cool. But they made a big deal about Barkley and his birthday, right? Like they did a little thing before the game and kind of left him out. And then,
he's a rookie.
I know. And then at the end, they had a cake for Barkley, but at least they let him come up and get a piece, you know. But
I don't even think they knew it was his birthday, like early on.
Yeah, maybe not.
It was all about Saquon.
Everyone knew it was his. But yeah, it was, like I say, kind of a blowout. But I stuck through it. I stuck through it, watched the whole thing. Except I never ever watched the halftime shows. I haven't. So back home, we used to have a Super Bowl party back in Cali, and
like
during the
house?
at my house, and we lived on a cul-de-sac. So at halftime, we literally would have a game in the streets, you know, and
as adults.
Yeah, and the
Not
kids.
kids.
Yeah, we'd have
okay.
the kids play, and I was always the quarterback on one team, and I played a lot better back then than I did with
Scott?
Pastor
Patrick.
But we always played. I never really watched the Super Bowls. I mean the halftime shows, and I just haven't for a long time because they're 90% of the time they're horrible. And this last week, just reading everything, yesterday's wasn't any better. So
yeah, my wife got on me too because I said, she's like, "Did you see the halftime show?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it was dumb." Like
So you watched it though?
Yeah. Well, we were.
Could you even understand what he was saying though?
Not really. And I told her, I'm like, there must have been something wrong with the speakers or something because it was all just jarbled to me.
That's what it always is when they're like rapping or.
Because my neighbor, his son lives behind me, so he put up a tent, had all this food, TVs, the works. He's been inviting me for many years, so this year I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take him up on his invite.
Nice.
Yeah, so I went down there. Awesome, almost 200 people in this house. Backyard, front yard, garage,
that was a
inside
party.
the house. Yeah, it was good.
The Popo didn't come?
No, nobody came. It's Henderson, and
Nice.
and this guy has connections.
Okay.
This guy, he works for like Carrot Top or something.
Oh.
So he's got some connections. Really nice guy. But anyway, so during the halftime show, everybody's singing along and everybody's dancing, and I'm like, what is this guy saying? And I'm not a Kendrick Lamar
Fan. Yeah.
I'm not a fan of his. I'm not a fan of Drake. So something about him and Drake also came out. And
With Serena dancing.
Yeah, I saw Serena come out, and I'm like, it was not something extraordinary for me.
And then one of his dancers
the flag, Gaza
came
flag.
out with the Palestinian flag.
No, what is it? Yeah, Palestine and Gaza or something on it. And now they're
But
banned.
they're saying that wasn't like, he didn't. No one knew that this guy was going to do that or whatever.
Oh, so he did it all on his own.
Yeah. I guess he had it all hidden or whatever. But so.
Wow. So you're going to get fired from your job, never be able to dance again. And I heard that the NFL banned him.
Yeah, they always do that. They banned those two. Remember a long time ago when we talked about the baseball? I just saw recently they banned them.
They banned both of them.
Yeah,
and that's good.
I don't know. I think a ban for life.
But
over
did you see how they twisted Mookie Betts' hand when he was trying to get
again?
The
He
ball
didn't
out?
get hurt. I get it was
But he
wrong.
could have been hurt.
He could have been.
Because that guy
could have, would have, should have.
That guy was aggressively pulling and tugging on the glove.
But
the other guy grabbed him. You don't ever
maybe
touch.
5, 10, but lifetime.
But you don't touch the guy. When Mookie went to go get the ball back, the guy grabbed him. The second guy. You do not touch a professional athlete. I'm sorry. Because what would happen if someone touches you on the street?
Nothing.
You're going to defend yourself, right?
Yeah, probably not.
Push them off.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying? Get some distance.
I'm pretty relaxed.
Laid back. So you're just going to let anybody come up and touch you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't get too.
So you don't have PTSD?
No.
Really? Being a cop this long, you don't have PTSD?
I don't think so. I've luckily
That's actually pretty good.
had I never really been in incidents. I think been in one fight in the whole 30 years. Like, it was pretty easy back,
Wow.
in
Not
the
me.
county.
Here in Vegas, we had a female detective that I know. Like, somebody followed her home, and then when she called it in, she didn't go home. She kind of drove around. They caught him, and he had tape, masks, knives, and gloves in the back seat of the car. So, I mean, he was ready to... And she was like you, into the whole sexual assault investigation type stuff. So who knows what this guy was going to do. And she's not the only one. She's a friend of mine, so I knew about that one. But there's other ones where they followed cops home. A gang detective on our department.
It was a small town, so like everybody knew where I lived.
Yeah.
So, and then on my work days, I parked my car at my house. So, I mean, anybody could have.
No, we had a gang.
Did I tell you about that incident that I had where the guy was in the hot tub?
No.
In my
Story
backyard.
time, story time.
Okay, story time. I got one finally. So yeah.
No, we had a gang detective who they blew up his car. He started it and the front of it blew up, but because they have that firewall, it didn't do nothing to him. Dang. So there's a lot of incidents like
that's
that.
That's another
here.
story time then.
It didn't happen to me though, but it happened to a gang detective on our department. But anyways, how did we get from
I don't
Super
know.
Bowl to
It happens, man. Cops, man. We just go.
So your favorite Taylor Swift got booed.
Yeah, apparently she got booed, and at one point, Tammy showed me she had this look, like
what's going
the
on?
devil look, you know.
Oh, really?
That's what I felt.
I only saw the.
And she did have that girl next to her again that has the upside
the Spice
down.
Girls. Yeah.
So they apparently booed her, which
because she's a Kansas City fan.
Yeah, do you
Philly
think
fans,
it was because there was more Eagle fans than Chiefs fans, so they booed her?
I think so.
I mean, because a lot of people love her, so I don't know that.
But Kansas City and Philadelphia are not too far apart, right? I mean, they both had to travel almost the same distance, right?
Yeah, maybe.
It's not like one city was closer than the other one.
I just and then there was another person there that your favorite person was
Tom Brady.
Your favorite.
He actually did better this time than some of the other times.
This is actually that's not who I was talking about, but that was a good one. I have never. So he did a Steelers game one time, but it was where I was at a restaurant and I couldn't actually hear the speaking. I'm only.
What do you mean? He did a Steelers game?
Yeah, like he did the Super Bowl, right? He was an announcer, you know.
Oh, now we're back to Brady?
Yeah, that's who
I
you
thought
just
you were
brought
talking
up.
about your friend.
My friend Trump.
The one you voted for.
No, not yet, because you brought up Brady. But yeah, I thought he did fine.
Yeah,
I think his voice got. I felt like his voice got hoarse, like towards
like
the middle of fourth quarter when he was talking. It sounded like he was, who knows? Maybe he partied too much the night before, but yeah, I thought he didn't do too bad. But literally, when what was that? Like the second or third play of the game when they threw that long pass and they called a penalty on the Eagles. Oh, man, I went nuts. I'm like, there we go. Here we go. Freaking the Chiefs are going to have the refs on their side. But when the game was over, they actually called way more penalties on the Chiefs than the Eagles. So,
but see, here's my theory on that, right? During the season, they did everything they could to get the Chiefs to the Super Bowl because they know Swift is going to bring a ton of people. Right? Watch it. Buy stuff, go to the game, TV, whatever.
Okay.
But now you're at the Super Bowl, you don't have to go for the Chiefs anymore. They're there already. So now you try and make it as even as possible, but it wasn't. It was so lopsided. Everything was going against the Chiefs. I mean, it was an embarrassment for me. First, the way the Eagles came out and the Chiefs couldn't match their intensity, and then the penalties. And then that first penalty is what actually did it for them. That one where they called what do you call it on the
offensive pass?
No, the personal foul.
Oh,
barely touched what's his name on the helmet. I'm talking about barely touched them. And it would have been fourth down, and they would have had a punt, but instead they got the first down, and then the Eagles go and score. I'm like, whoa, this might be and that was the first touchdown. This might be a turnaround here, and sure enough, they did nothing after that because then they got the one on Jalen, or stopped them on third down. but they called a personal foul, and they got a first down again, and they went and scored it.
Yeah.
No, they didn't score that time. But I'm just like, wow, this is gonna be different.
Yeah.
And by that halftime, after the halftime show, I was done. I told my buddy, I'm out of here.
I didn't watch the halftime.
No.
But she got booze, and my boy Trump got. He's not my boy.
Yes. he
Listen,
is.
if there was a better candidate than Harris and Biden, I would have voted at something different. But he was the better candidate.
You still voted for a demon.
He was still the better.
He was
candidate.
the better demon.
He was the better bad person.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Are you still saying that now, though?
I mean, I said that all along.
I'm saying now, after all he's done so far.
Well,
Once he sends me back to Mexico, you're going to be okay with that?
I don't think he will.
But they'll stop me. Like in Nazi Germany.
I don't think they will.
I need your papers, sir.
But they did cheer him.
Yeah, they did, unfortunately.
So was it the Eagle fans or the Chiefs fans? Because he did say in his interview with Brett Baer, at the end they asked him, who you think's going to win, and he said Chiefs.
Yeah.
So either the Chief fans
Cheered him on.
although he did win Pennsylvania, and it was a swing state, but there was a lot of they got loud when they showed a picture of him. I gotta admit. But I did not know that this was the first time
sitting president that went to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I would have thought for sure Obama would have tried to get into some of that.
But here's the thing, though, right? You're cutting back all this money from the federal government. How much did it cost?
I knew you would
How
bring
much did it cost to go to the
because
Super
I
Bowl?
just saw today that it was.
Oh, it was on that somebody brought it up?
Someone said how much it cost, like $1.5 million or something.
And you're trying to cut the federal government, but you're doing that? Like, what is his reason for being at the Super Bowl? That's my thing. You're not a sports junkie. You've never came out as a favorite of the Chiefs or the Eagles. If the whole time you were in, like some other presidents, I'm a Cowboys fan, like the Bushes.
Right.
I could see that because you've always been a Cowboys fan. This guy is not a fan of anything, especially not something that loses him money. So I don't understand what his purpose for going was. What was his purpose?
His purpose, I'm just saying, probably not good, but as psycho as you think he is, he probably realized he's played it off like he didn't know, but he probably found out that, hey, if you go, you would be the first president to go, and his ego was ego was like, yeah, let me be the first
one.
In the history books. But then when they ask me, I'll be like, oh, really? No one's ever gone before? oh, man. So
I did see one article, and it was left-leaning. The article was left-leaning, but it did say that he went to the Super Bowl, and I'm not going to put too much into it, but just reading it, I could see that. He went to the Super Bowl to show Taylor Swift that he was more popular than her. That's what,
I could see him.
What the article. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's one reason I could see it. And then to have them boo her, and applaud him, I'm like, this dude did exactly what he said he was gonna do, because that's what the left-leaning article said. I'm just like, oh man, imagine that. And then I see the clapping, and I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I never.
He said he hates Taylor Swift, right?
Yeah.
Put it all over.
I know it's stupid.
So I think,
but he loves Mahomes' wife, because Mahomes' wife literally she liked
Brittany.
Yeah, she liked something, and so then he thought that meant that she, was a MAGA. And when they asked the husband, he's like, "Listen, I don't really get political, but." I mean, he was he didn't want to come out and say, she was pro-Trump, but he just happened to like something, or she happened to like something. And
well, he's almost a billionaire, so he's got to be a Trumpy.
Yeah.
Aren't all billionaires Trumpies
I don't
now,
know.
Except for Oprah?
Yeah. She used to be, though.
Oh, was she?
She used to be a Trumper.
I didn't know that. The first time?
No, before he ran.
Oh, I did not know that.
Oh yeah, when her TV show was ending, it was either the last episode or the second to last episode. She asked him to come on it, and she asked him in that interview, "Do you think you would ever run for president?" And,
I do remember
and
that.
he said, "Well, the country would really have to be going to for me to think."
And it did.
And it did, and he ran. So, but again, hopefully this is the last time he can run. I know there's talks that they're trying.
What do you mean, hopefully? So you don't want your guy to run again?
No, he's had his two.
You don't want a dictator? I thought that's what you guys wanted.
Who said I wanted a dictator?
That's what's happening. That's not what's happening.
No, I don't think
He's
so.
overcrossing everything Congress is about. He's not asking for permission from Congress. He's just doing whatever the hell pleases him.
He's
no.
he's actually doing what the American
actually-
people voted him to do.
Actually, what he's doing is called a vengeance tour. He's firing everybody that had anything to do with prosecuting him, prosecuting those treacherous, treasonous traitors from January 6th. All the FBI's, he wants all their names so he can fire them. I'm like, you're going to tell me that's right? As an FBI agent, you assign me a case, I'm going to investigate it.
Yeah,
and
I'm not saying it's...
And not because I did, I'm going to get fired.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's right. I do think that we need to figure stuff out because I still think January 6th was not completely... I agree. Anyone that broke those windows...
No. Anybody that stepped inside is a traitor. Every single one that went inside when they weren't supposed to, because there was barricades and police officers who you passed that line, you're
But what
a traitor.
about the videos where they tell, come on in, and they let them in?
Because they don't want to die.
No.
Capitol Police did not want to die, and they may be pro-Trump. I don't know.
I don't know. I think there's more
when you
to
do
it.
something like that to try and overturn an election, whether it's by fraud or not, right? We have the legal system for that.
I don't. They weren't there to I don't think they were there to overturn.
That was their whole purpose, because they were about to certify the election, and they were trying to stop it.
I just think the people
that is resurrection.
Damaged
that
stuff
is treason.
Should be in trouble and shouldn't have been pardoned.
And they're not. And the guy that killed the Capitol Police is out.
No one. No.
Capitol policeman died.
Not that day on the incident,
but due to the injuries suffered.
So, and I agree. Anyone that was violent, they should have not been part. I don't even know if they have been, because there's rumors that they've only pardoned people that weren't, and then rumor there is. I mean, if you listen to, Pelosi, it's he let everybody pardon. I don't know. I really don't know the truth on who was, who wasn't. I disagree that with Trump, if that was a violent person, they shouldn't have been pardoned. Totally think that. But I think people that were just there standing out, because there was people outside that were still having cases against them, and they never brought them to court, things like that. But, I do hate when it's something that just goes on and on and on and on. Like, like Pam Bondi says they're going to release the names of, everyone keeps saying, release the names of, that we're on this island, fantasy island.
Oh, which one? The Epstein?
Yeah. It's like, why didn't you, if I was her, why didn't you have that ready? And soon as you signed saying you were the AG, you said, oh, by the way, I have this. Bam! Here's the names. Like, you keep saying you're going to do it. You keep saying you're going to do it. Everyone keeps saying they're going to do it. I actually don't think anyone's going to do it.
Well, nobody's going to do it, but the list exists.
And there's been some names, but unless you see the real list by her holding it,
very
I don't
high-ranking
think she
official
will.
from the U.S., Bill Clinton, another high-ranking official from the United Kingdom, whatever that prince's name is, the idiot, right? So if you have those two, you're going to tell me that they're the only two?
Yeah, no, they've mentioned other people.
Everybody and anybody there.
But it's just like...
But do you really want to open that Pandora's box?
Yes.
They're not going to, though.
The people want to know.
Okay, but all these secret societies, do you think they don't have something to say about this?
I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't think they will ever actually hold it like in public with the camera being able to zoom in or they're reading. I mean, I don't think you'll actually see, an actual document.
You'll never get a full list. Because even Puff Daddy's list.
Yeah.
They omitted so many people. Whoever paid got omitted.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And if you didn't pay, your name was still on there. But you got to take it with a grain of salt, though. Jessica Alba's name is on there. Do you really think she was involved in any of that?
Well, I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
so this is the thing. I think there's normal, regular people that probably went there. I'm not sure that everybody that went
Participated.
knew what was going on there.
I think they knew something was going on, but I don't think they participated.
Yeah,
'Cause
I don't know.
that-
Well, if you know, that's just as much as participating.
yeah, if you don't say anything.
Yeah.
If you go and you see it and you don't say anything, then you're just.
But if you were I mean, it's just like some of these pictures that people say about Trump or even Bill Cosby. I'm not sure that, everything with Bill Cosby. I don't know.
No, Bill Cosby's guilty as charged.
But I mean, but victims do that. Victims do wait. Some victims, come forward right away, and some hold on for life.
And why though? The shame,
the guilt, nothing will happen to the person, the perpetrator. Yeah. So I get it when people do wait.
You of all people should know that, being where you investigated.
Yeah, no, I do. I get it, and I have some personal stuff as well that I've never gone on the podcast yet. One day maybe I will, but so yeah, I get why people wait.
People keep their mouths shut. And
but
then you also have threats.
Yeah,
Puff Daddy threatened a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
And then you have this idiot Kanye West supporting him. And did you see his latest post?
Mm-mm.
He goes, "Yeah, I've hit women." Like he literally put that on the post. I'm like, dude, like you're not helping Puff Daddy, dude. We already know he's an abuser.
Right.
I mean, what he did to Cassie is unacceptable. It's disgusting. So we already know whatever you say is a lie.
Yeah.
Because it's there. And don't tell me it's just one time. We were cops, right? Domestic violence starts with control, then verbally abusing, physically abusing, and then you get to the O.J. Simpson when you kill him. So it's just like that's the chain.
He was found innocent, by the way.
He was guilty. Have you seen the show?
No, but
man,
I just was happy when they found him guilty here in
the
Nevada.
civil. Oh no, yeah, for trying to steal his memorabilia back.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
That was my buddy actually that was transporting him.
Oh really?
The big tall guy in the back. Yeah, he's a friend of mine.
Oh nice.
Yeah, I actually went to see him at jail, but you can't talk to him. You just kind of pass by his jail cell. So that's what.
So you didn't go get a signature? Anymore?
Heck no! Remember what I said?
People were doing that.
Felons, ex-felons, murderers, rapists. Your president. I know. They're convicts. I don't want nothing to do with them.
So how long do you think Trump stayed? Do you think he stayed for the whole game?
No, he left after halftime.
So he watched. Do you think he watched the halftime?
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
They're saying that he left after because it was kind of not anti-Trump, but anti-MAGA.
Oh, it was definitely.
It was more anti-MAGA, the whole thing, not just
that's again not just because of the MAGA thing, but they always do their little political stuff. That's why I don't watch those. I don't watch those Oscars, none of that.
I don't watch.
I just saw a thing on Richard Gere the other day. He was at whatever one they just recently had. I don't know. There's so many of them.
Did it involve a gerbil?
No, it involved him saying how Trump's most evil.
You don't know the whole gerbil story with him?
No. Is that another day?
Yeah, look it up.
So, but yeah, so I don't know, but it was it was cool that he went, I guess. Now now we've had a.
I mean, I've enjoyed some of them. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, he goes to college games all the time.
Does he?
Oh yeah, he goes to the Army Navy every year.
Yeah, but he fired those boards now too. You didn't see that? He fired the boards, granted civilian boards, but he fired all the boards for all 4 academies, including the Coast Guard.
Okay, so
and
now let's go into.
But that one I'm okay with because of the woke culture,
right?
And the whole identity politics.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it was getting a little out of hand. And we need to reel that back.
So the big thing right now is about Musk and everything he's doing. Now, I would think that every human being that is over 18 that, pays their taxes, even illegals who pay taxes, I guess, whatever.
I guess they do.
Anybody that pays taxes, I would think you'd want to know where your money's going. So I'm totally on board with him going into these different ones and seeing where this wasteful. I mean, because we're so far in debt. Where's all this money going? I don't know why Trump didn't do this 8 years ago, the first time he was in, or why nobody. I mean, I didn't even know if anybody's ever done this before, but I'm like, we got a lot of wasted money out there for things that aren't even. It'd be even different if they were all like at least in the United States. So many are in these other states for things that
not states, countries.
Other countries that I would have never even thought of that our money would be used for that.
See, and I agree that we should do an audit. The way it's being handled, I don't agree. Not one bit. Because I trained rookies, right? When I was a cop, I trained rookies. So did I just go in and start screaming at him and fire him and without knowing what he was doing? No. I took a week and I observed what he was doing because it was non-graded. So during that week, I'm seeing what is he doing wrong? What is he doing right? Everything that we grade him on, I'm observing. So now I know what I got to fix, what I got to leave alone. That's not what happened here, right? They didn't come in and observe how each one of these departments ran. They went in and started cleaning house, a week into his term? They just started firing people, and then he did the most disgusting thing ever. All right, no more federal money gets sent out. No more federal money, which is against the law. You can't just freeze the federal accounts. Congress has a say in it, but he went ahead and did it. And so now there's a story of this veteran who's trying to get his prescription medicines at a pharmacy, and he can't get them because the federal account is frozen, right? So now this veteran doesn't have his medication, whatever the medication was. So now he could possibly die because he's not going to be able to afford the medicine. See what I'm saying? So there's a way of doing it. The way they did it was wrong. And then to allow somebody like Musk go through every single department in the United States government.
But I mean,
the guy
why he was running, they said he was kind of. This is what the American people voted for.
I understand.
He said, "This guy's on my team. This is what we're." I mean, it was supposed to be him and Vivek.
Yeah.
And he told people before they elected him, "This is what we were going to do."
Vivek kicked out just because he didn't like him. This is all vengeance politics. Yeah, right? Well, and I mean, to a certain extent, I agree with some of the stuff they're doing it. Just the way they're doing it is wrong. Because as I told you before, Clinton did the same thing, and I can't stand Clinton. If I see Clinton, I punch him in the face. Him and his male wife. Oh, I can't stand her either. But anyways, he did the same thing. He got rid of whatever it was, 380,000 jobs, right? And I believe what we read was from 98 to 2001, our country was in the black. So that's only 23 years ago that our country was in the black, not with a deficit, right? And I understand that's piggybacking off of Bush's policies. So Bush's policies took
I still
effect.
Can't believe we were quote in the black, but
we were
if
in
you
the
say
black.
so, I would have never thought
that's
we would.
That's one thing I do remember about his presidency is that we were actually in the black, and he was the president while I was in the military, and he's terrible. Shouldn't even have been president. But anyways, he did some of the same things, and nobody heard about it because of the way he went about it. It was silent. It was.
Well, you got to admit that there's so many people that hate Trump, no matter what he does.
People hated Clinton too.
No, but no matter what he does, like literally the first day he was in office, that guy from Texas filed articles of impeachment. Like, hello, we've done there, been there, and you guys still couldn't get him impeached. Like, hello,
no, he got impeached. Okay, he just didn't get kicked out.
He won every time. He didn't lose those.
But I'm saying there was enough representatives and Congress people that voted for impeachment. So that means
I'm just saying they hate him so much that instead of allowing what the American people said, voted killed her by 20 million. This is our guy, whether you like him or not, for 4 years. Then he'll be gone. But for the next 4 years, we want this done. We want this done. We want this done. And he's trying to get it done. And he's trying to get it done fast because he's probably afraid that in 2026 he's going to lose some of the Republicans to Democrats, and then he won't be able to get
Well,
stuff
that's
done.
already a given.
You know, because that's what happened in his last term.
Yeah.
He didn't have it the whole 4 years, so he couldn't get
Yeah, but
hardly anything done. This time, he's like,
But like I said, when
I
you're
wanna
going,
get to work right
when you're
now.
going against the Constitution, I have a problem with it. The whole birthright, he said he was going to do something about it, so he just went out there and said, "Well, see, I tried to do it, but they wouldn't let me do it." Well, you can't, you moron. The Constitution says you can't. You see what I'm saying? That's my problem.
I
with
get
it.
there.
There's a lot of
I
things
totally
that
get
he's
there are
doing,
some
and
things
it's against the Constitution. But he's just doing it because, like you said, this is what I said I'm going to do. I did it, but hey, they didn't let me do it. You know, well, the Constitution says you can't do it. You know, because now he's got a
Well,
bunch of...
that's really the only thing that I don't. There's
No, the federal funding. Stopping it. How do you stop money
but
from
where
going
is that
out?
in the Constitution?
It's in the Constitution that only Congress can do that. Congress has to have a
I don't
vote
know. That's
after
the
you do that.
Constitution or like the bill.
No. It's in the Constitution. I don't know what amendment,
Yeah.
but the articles I read is Congress is in charge of the money. The president cannot.
I think
just,
that's more like the Bill of Rights.
No,
not
Bill of
necessarily.
Rights is for us.
Well, I don't know.
That's the government. That's the executive branch,
Right,
judicial
right,
branch,
right.
and what is the Congress? What is that branch? Judicial, executive, whatever the third one is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, to me, it's just the way he's going about it is wrong, and especially allowing President Musk to like freaking.
Really, you gonna call him President Musk?
He's the
I
president.
feel like I'm talking to someone way off to the side.
I'm a Republican.
You don't come across that
don't
way.
mess with my guns. Don't mess with my V8s.
And he's
V8s.
he's not messing with your guns.
Yes, don't mess with my guns. Don't mess with my V8s. And get all
And
these.
he's not messing with your VA.
Get all these. He's messing with the VA. When you're stopping federal funding, that's
Nobody has.
That's when you're stopping. Who funds the VA?
I'm saying
Federal funding.
They said that Social Security, all those, that hasn't
Well,
stopped.
it's because he knows he can't touch it because of Congress, right? There's money that's already geared to go there, and you can't touch it as a president. He can mess with the post office. He can mess with which I agree, the USA thing. I kind of think that was a big ripoff. You know, when you're giving the Catholic Church billions of dollars when they have billions of dollars in their bank accounts. Why do they
Or you're giving money to Soros, who's
That's what I'm
already
saying.
rich. Like,
You're giving them money, but yet the Catholic Church doesn't need billions from America to do what they're doing.
no.
I totally disagree with that. You know, that's just like, are you kidding me? And you're giving them tax breaks because they're a religion, and then I'm like, no, that is wasted money. There's some areas there where I'm like, oh yeah, they got you.
So what about the boys in women's sports?
Yeah, I can't stand that. Well, that's why Kamala lost, right? She ran on.
So
two
you're
things.
okay with him signing that?
Yeah, I'm okay. We do not
okay.
need boys playing
Okay.
against girls. Yeah,
Okay.
that to me, no. And I've always been on that side. Like,
Because if not, I think he was getting ready to play on a girls' team.
look, there's two races. I mean, not two races. There's two genders.
Yeah, there is two.
There's two genders.
Two
male
genders,
and female.
yes,
Not
yes.
races. There's plenty of
Yeah,
races.
yeah.
But there's two genders. What you're born with is who you are, right? God doesn't make a mistake. That's what I've been told. That's what I believe. God don't make a mistake, you know, because if you're saying I should have been a girl, but God made you a boy, you're saying that God is wrong. And that's not going to happen. Not in my eyes, anyways. You know, and we could get into that a lot more, but
On the next episode.
yeah, but transgender women and men that become women, no. I mean, we saw what happened with, what was it, San Jose State,
Yeah.
the volleyball player.
But there's other.
that
I mean,
broke the
that
nose.
one that actually got paralyzed.
Yeah, there's been quite a
So
few
there's
incidents.
yeah.
Swimming,
And the funny thing is, it's rarely the
men, or the woman becoming a man playing.
yeah. Like
That's never heard of that.
Yeah, it's always the other.
Yeah.
And it's usually because they, were ranked really low, and then it's like, oh, now let me move
Now
to
I'm number one.
yeah. So
Well, I mean, you can't beat science on that. You know, the weakest man is almost as strong as the strongest woman. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Physiologically, that's just the way it is. You know, and now all of a sudden you got a man coming into a woman's sport. Like, yeah, nah. But as I was saying, that's why the Democrats lost, because they were all about identity politics and beating up on Trump. That's the only two things they ran on.
dude, they had speaking of that, they had her at the Laker game. Harris, she was at the Laker
Yeah.
game. Yeah.
Right by the
Way, like I
No, it
guess
wasn't
you don't
way
get
up, but
front
it was-
row
it
no
was
more,
by
man.
the radio
You get
people.
you don't get
And
no
nobody said
special
hi.
treatment. Anything.
Nobody asked for autographs. I was laughing. I don't know why she was at my Laker game. Like, you need to go back to Golden State. Like, you're from San Francisco. Get out of LA, lady. Like, she shouldn't even. But I'm thinking it was free tickets. Somebody had to have had free tickets.
free?
Say, hey, here you go.
Um,
Yeah, let's not get into AOC. Did you see what she said? I'm only worth $500,000.
yeah, when you were a bartender before.
Yeah, bartender, barista, whatever.
I gotta admit, she's pretty, and she probably won because of her looks. But she's an idiot.
But you know, she's been kind of quiet.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of Trumpies actually give her credit for that, because she blew the whistle on all those Democrats that were finagling with the stock market or whatever. What is that called?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Insider trading.
Yeah, insider trading. She blew the whistle on that, and she's like, "Oh, you think I'm a millionaire? Like, I'm worth $500,000. I don't even own a house." I was like, "Oh, I thought she was a millionaire. I don't know why. I thought she was a millionaire. I thought once you go there, like Obama, you become a multi-millionaire."
Yeah.
And then what's up with him? Is he getting divorced or
I
what? I thought you were friends with all of them.
Yeah, I don't know any of that. Who knows? But remember the guy, I think on an episode I did talk about me getting my demotion and fighting.
Oh,
it,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So the captain that Kurt Smallcombe, who did actually started the IA, he just died.
Really?
62 years old.
Natural causes?
30 years, at law enforcement.
But natural causes or cancer?
I don't know. It was unexpectedly. He came from Arizona back to Mendocino County for a visit, and it
He
just
passed
says
away.
that he died.
Wow.
I saw the sheriff that actually hired me. He posts a lot and keeps up with
Social
retired
media?
deputies, and and he posted it, and so I thought it was shocking that he.
Okay, I'm
died,
a cop.
but-
I'm a cop. Okay, so I'm gonna take out my notebook. Derek, where were you on?
Oh, yeah.
Where was your brother? Where was your best friend?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I
You
part
haven't
of,
seen him since that, right? Since you left?
no.
Don't care or nothing.
Nope.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
I don't want any
Yeah, you don't want any
of
malice,
my
malice
ex-
towards them.
coppers that I worked for, even if I don't like them anymore, because I did like him at one time,
Yeah.
and we'd been to his house and had Thanksgivings with him. It was just when he filed those charges that I thought were bogus.
You knew.
Yeah. I mean, obviously I won, so they were
Yeah.
bogus, but that just made me dislike him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say hate. I would say I only hated Tom Allman. That I hate's a strong word, but I really hated him. Yeah.
What is that, Musa? What is it?
So, but I don't know if he. I know there's this big federal thing going on in Mendocino County.
Your department, though?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
From like the marijuana eradication team. And so I don't know if
He was involved.
in that or
So
not.
it wasn't suicide then?
I don't know.
So you don't know if it was natural
I
or
don't.
suicide?
It just said in the article unexpectedly.
So that was suicide.
I don't know.
If he has a federal probe going?
But I don't know if he did. I know other
His
people
department.
did.
Now,
But
was it during his time, though, when he was in charge?
yeah.
They're probing during those years?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is.
But I don't know. But I just thought it was odd because he, I don't know of him having any health issues, but maybe he did.
62, that's still young.
So.
Wow, that's crazy.
And his son-in-law is now the captain at the department, which is what he was when he retired.
Yeah.
And he got fired from a different department.
And got hired here.
And then got hired by us as a dispatcher, worked his way back to the streets, to sergeant, to lieutenant, to captain.
Wow.
Because that's our old department was like that.
And then,
good old boys.
And then he retired.
No. His
So he
son-in-law
made
is
the
still
rank by
there.
himself?
His son-in-law is
That's
still
what I'm
there.
saying, though. But he didn't help him make rank?
I think he helped
All the
before
way
he
to
retired.
lieutenant?
Helped him get
To
at
lieutenant?
least hired and back on patrol. I'm not sure. Maybe
Wow.
to sergeant, and then I think he might have retired before he.
Before he got up.
Yeah, but I don't. Man, I don't know.
That's good.
So-
Now, was he a decent guy? Besides getting fired from.
He got fired for lying.
Well, that's not
Uh,
decent.
He's adamant that he wasn't lying, but it was pretty BS. Someone said that he hit a car on patrol. He says, if I hit a car, I would have said something.
Yeah.
But another guy is saying how I saw him hit the car, and then when they interviewed him, he denied it. So they fired him, and then we eventually.
They couldn't prove it with dents, paint transfer.
No, there was something.
So he
with
did hit.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's saying he didn't. I don't know. Who knows? But he lost his job, and we
That's almost
eventually
like
brought him over.
Detective Furman
Yeah.
from OJ.
So-
I'm not a racist.
So one of his good friends. So during that thing, they hit him out in Mendocino County.
Who, Furman?
Yeah,
Really?
because one of his best friends was a detective for the local police department.
Really? Wow, what a small world.
Yeah, who pulled over my buddy, who's black, the only deputy, Oral Massey,
Oh, the one you're talking about, yeah.
that we were partners. When he was a probation officer, he got pulled over in his car
By this detective.
by this detective
That's friends
guy
with Furman.
that's friends with Furman. And when he got up there and realized it was Oral and was asking him, hey, why'd you stop me? He was like, oh, you were speeding or whatever. And Oral knows that he wasn't.
Yeah,
And Oral thinks that he pulled him over because he was black.
because he's racist.
But
Dude,
that was a long.
I cannot believe that
That was a long time
I can't
ago.
believe that Furman did that lawsuit.
Yeah.
Do you know about it?
Oh yeah, back in the day there was all that.
Yeah, that he wanted a pension because he couldn't stand black people.
Yeah.
He couldn't work because they're whatever. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, that gets me fired up. So I don't want to
Same
talk
here.
about it.
And then he's in Mendocino.
Yeah,
He
I
don't
didn't know
he
that.
don't come to my town, L.A.
Now he lives, I think, in Idaho or somewhere.
Who?
But that Furman guy.
Oh, I don't know where he's at.
But we're
It's already time?
yeah,
Oh,
we're like at 45
Oh,
minutes
man,
already.
story time. You got
Yeah.
a good one this time.
But what was it? I've already forgot what I was gonna like.
The
Remind me what would
bathtub
we?
or something?
Bathtub? No, it wasn't a bathtub.
Yeah, didn't you say something about that? Guy in the bathtub?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Gosh, no. I totally am having a brain
So
fart.
am I.
What were we talking about that I said, oh, that would be a good story? I'm sorry, guys. Like, my mind, man.
No, you did say something. Somebody was in something in the house or something. Oh, in your
Oh,
ice
yeah,
bath.
yeah. No,
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
outside.
All right, so, yeah, this is,
And I'm the one with the bad memory.
I know. Sheesh. So one night we came back. So we lived in a cul-de-sac, right?
Yeah.
And so if you're pulling to the cul-de-sac,
Wait, now
we
this is Vegas or Mendocino?
were Mendocino.
Okay.
We were the second house in. So technically, the first house had part of his backyard meets up with mine, and then his backyard meets up with the house that's on the other street, and part of my backyard meets up with the same house. So anyhow, we come home, and for some reason had to go through my side gate. I don't know if I forgot the key or whatever, but I heard something. So we go in the left side of my house to go in, and the hot tub's to the far right in my backyard. And as I come around, I'm hearing people that sound like they're like right by my pool and hot tub, and it's dark. And so I come around the corner, and then I see these people jump out of the hot tub and jump over the fence to my neighbor's yard. So we go into my slider, and I tell my wife, grab my gun and grab my flashlight. And so then I'm looking, and I told her, call the police, and I'm trying to look, and I don't see anybody over there. And so I come back out front, and they got there, it's small town, so they got there pretty quick.
How many?
It's 20,000
No,
for
how
Ukiah.
many cops showed up?
One guy shows up.
One guy only?
Yeah, I mean, I think a second guy eventually showed up, but when he came
There
out,
was two suspects though.
yeah, but so the guy shows up, and I'm like, hey, I said, I don't know if it's the guy's name was David that lived behind me. I go, I don't know if it was David, but someone was in the hot tub and they jumped over. So we start walking towards his house, and he comes out, and he's not wet, or he doesn't look like he is been wet. Like he would have been, something would have, hair or something, because he's not bald like me. But and he's coming towards us, and you can tell he's intoxicated. And so I'm like, hey David, what's up, man? And he's like, what do you mean, Scott? Not calling me by my first name, but.
So you guys were not friends, or you guys were friends?
No, he worked for the city, like in the water department or something, but we weren't really friends at all. But but we were friendly when we needed to be. So, because at one point he grew weed in the backyard, and then
that's illegal.
It was legal at the time, but then because it was in the city limits, it was illegal. And then he moved it into the garage, and then he eventually moved it out to the county. But anyhow, he's coming towards us, and I'm like, hey man, what's up? I go, who do you have in my hot tub? And he's like, what are you talking about? He's cussing a little bit. I don't know what you're talking about. I said, dude, two guys jumped over and were in my hot tub.
Guys. There wasn't a guy and a girl?
No, it was two guys. I said, I saw two guys jumping over. And he's like, man, I don't know what you're talking about. And he's getting kind of loud, and the officer's like, hey man, just calm down. And he's like, no man, this is BS. And he's like putting his, but he's coming towards me, and the guy's like, hey man, you need to put your hand down. And he kept coming. And and then he like puts his finger like literally like an inch from me, and the cop just grabs him, hooks him up, and then right then I see
the two guys.
I see two guys jump over his other. So my fence is here. He's got a fence here, and then the house. It was the other side, and so then the cops, hey, you two come here, and I'm like, I think that because the height and everything. I go, yeah, I'm pretty sure that was them. And they're like, hey, man, sorry. And so then they admitted that they were right. And then David's like, well, you going to arrest me? You going to arrest me? I'm like, dude, I'm not arresting you. I told you to stop, because I kept telling him, David, man, just calm down, this, that. I said, now he's arresting you for being drunk in public. Because we have a thing in California, drunk in public. And I said, he's probably not going to, and you can have him released without charges. But anyhow, so they hook him up. And we have to walk him all the way to my house where the patrol cars parked.
Oh, in the front,
and
the perp walk.
and so that caused a little
friction,
tension after. But I tried telling him, dude, man, we were telling you to just stop and and you just didn't want to go along with the program because you've been drinking.
So he gave them permission to go over there, or what? Why did they go over?
I don't know.
You didn't talk to them?
No. Another cop came, eventually talked to them, and then. I went with the other cop to put David in the car, and then I told the guy, I said, listen, I don't really care if David's charged or not with the drunken public. I could care less. And then on the other, they're like, listen,
trespassing.
Yeah, they're like, hey, what do you want to do? I'm like, just tell them, stay out of my yard.
Yeah.
I said, tell them they could have got shot, and maybe that will stop, and
or at least ask for permission.
So they didn't, they didn't.
No charges.
No
Not even
charges.
Warning? Trespass.
No,
warning?
No. They just told him, hey, listen, man,
Don't do it again.
Stay out of this guy's yard, or you might get shot. He's a cop, and and David knows I'm a cop, right? So, but yeah, that was pretty funny, and
that almost sounds similar to that Boulder City cop. I mean, not Boulder City cop, but
the Metro guy
cop in Boulder City, same thing.
Yeah, but I didn't shoot anybody. So
well, his wife saw it too.
But anyhow,
that's another day.
Yeah, Jerry's gonna kill us on this one.
Yes, he is. Sorry, Jerry. Jerry, if we haven't said it, we love you, brother.
Thank you for always doing the editing and the memes. Although you didn't do memes last time. No.
What?
Nice.
No, it was
I gotta
because of
check
the
this one. I'm gonna
volume.
drive-
It was
I'm-
because of the volume thing
I'm gonna
wasn't
watch
working.
this one all.
Yeah. Okay. Watch this one. So anyhow, guys, keep going, Trump. Keep doing what you're doing now.
Yeah, Trump, keep putting my people back. Yeah, that's what he wants.
Okay. That's another story.
That's
but-
what you want, though.
I mean, I do want.
I only want the violent. No, we're gonna get started some more.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
not keep
Okay.
going.
So like, subscribe, and share.
guys
Till
have a
next
good one.
time. Peace.
Peace.